We've just heard all about how HP has effectively reinvented business to help customers heighten their competitive edge for their businesses through HP printers, solutions, and services. Now, let's direct our attention to listen to some industry experts as they discuss how businesses can leverage on these solutions to transform the way they work and reinvent their success. So I'd like to invite on stage our moderator for this panel, Group Vice President, Practice Group of IDC Asia Pacific, Ms. Sandra Ng. Please do come up on the stage, Ms. Ng. And for our panel guests this morning, Deputy General Manager, Smart Device Open Platform, Tencent Group, Mr. Mao. Head Facilities and Administration and CSR, HDFC Ergo, Mr. Samir Barve. Assistant, and lastly, Assistant Vice President, Head Network and Information Security Operation, Tata AIA Life, Mr. Pradipta Patro. Ms. Ng, take it away.
Thank you. Thank you. Very good morning to all. It's obviously very exciting to be here today. Before I start the customer panel discussion, I just want to quickly explain how this is going to work. We're going to do this in two languages, obviously English and Mandarin. So the translation from Mandarin to English will be sequential, so you don't need headsets. And then the translation from English to Mandarin for Mr. Mao and the Chinese delegation will be simultaneous, which is where you will keep your headsets. Okay, so with that, let's just kick off. So let me just start off by just saying that, as I was listening to the presentation earlier, it's very clear that consumerization of information technology and obviously print being one of the key elements, and the popularity of pay as you use or as you go model, and that's where HP talk about contractor-based, talk about outcome-based pricing. As these become more popular, as we see more of this in the marketplace, innovation and reinvention are necessities for every organization and every business to be able to compete differently in the marketplace. So today, I'm very pleased and honored to have three very distinguished panelists, Tencent QQ, HDFC Ergo, and obviously Tata AIA Life. And they come from some of the most competitive markets in the world, China and India, as we know, highly intense from a competition perspective. So their reinvent journey, I'm sure, are going to be interesting learning experiences and stories that we all can learn from. So let me just start off by getting each one of you to just briefly introduce yourself, your organization, and specifically talking about the vision of your company as it relates to digital transformation and print. So maybe we'll start off with Mr. Mao from Tencent QQ.
OK， 大家好，我是来自腾讯的毛华，目前主要是负责腾讯的 QQ 物联和腾讯视频云这两个业务。那么腾讯是一家18年前在深圳，在中国的一个新兴城市深圳起步的一个互联网公司。那目前它是中国最大的互联网的一个综合服务的提供商之一，也是中国服务用户最多的互联网的企业之一。所以也有幸成为全国前5大的互联网企业。如果说关注腾讯不久前发布的这个2015的这个财报，大家可以看到，其实腾讯的发展是非常的迅速的。那腾讯目前是通过 QQ 还有微信这样的国内外的一些版本，或者说叫 WeChat、QQ、WeChat 以及我们的腾讯的新闻网还有腾讯游戏QQ 空间等等。一些网络平台，打造了中国最大的互联网社区，用来全面的满足这个互联网用户的一个 沟通资讯以及其他的像游戏啊等等一些方面的一些需求。那么我们拥有很强大的用户的一个基础。从财报当中，其实我们可以看到啊，在近几年当中，就腾讯以及各个产品线的用户量一直是在创新高的。比如说像 QQ 的月活跃用户已经达到了8.3亿，一个月的活跃用户是8.3亿。最高的同时在线、同时 online 的这个数据是2.41亿。而 WeChat 包括了国内和国际版本两个加起来的话，合并的活跃用户也有6.97亿。所以这个用户的数据量是非常强大的。腾讯因为它就是在马化腾这个倡导下，其实我们的一个终极的目标是要去做一个互联网的连接器，从而去实现连接一切的这么一个目标。所以呢，就是无论是软件还是硬件，或者说无论是我们提供的内容或者服务，其实影响和改变着人们的一些生活。我想，因为在这里边其实整个是亚太区的一些惠普的合作伙伴。我想问一下，有多少用户是在用腾讯的产品？无论是 QQ 或者说是 WeChat， 或者说是 QQ 空间等等，或者 QQ 音乐腾讯都 OK。让我看一下，中国区的几乎所有的用户都在用，是吗？还有一些香港和澳门的一些。
我们停一下。
Very long. Basically, I want to summarize what Mr. Mao says. He says, I'm from Tencent. I'm in charge of QQ in China. Currently, QQ is ranked top 5 in the world, and we have the most active users in China. Right now, we close the internet gap in China, and we have the domestic and international versions of this WeChat. And these active users of WeChat right now is close to the 870 million users, and the active online user is close to every day is 267 million of these users.
所以我想举2个例子来说明一下，就是我们的腾讯的服务和这个 QQ 或者微信怎么去改变人们的生活。比如说我们在每年过年的时候，我们会去看春节晚会这样的节目，但是呢，最近2年其实有一个项目是每年春节是必备了，就是我们用 QQ 或者是用微信去刷红包，摇一摇红包，对吗？这个所有的中国用户应该都知道这一项这个游戏了。每年春节的时候必备。
So I want to tell you why this QQ has changed our lifestyle in China. One good example is that during the Spring Festival in China, nowadays we have this activity called we close the angbao, close the yellow envelopes. Most of the residents they stay in China, they know about these activities very well.
OK， 还有一个生活当中的例子，也就是在前天下午。我去我们小区的那个边上有个临时的一个卖菜的菜场，就是个临时菜场，就几个人老太太在那卖。但是我发现一个现象是什么呢？在他菜的边上还立了一个牌子，上面有个2维码，微信2维码，说你不用带零钱，你可以用手机扫一扫微信，你就可以买菜。所以我们的金融支付通过 QQ、通过 WeChat 的这个金融支付，在日常生活当中已经是很普及了。
Another typical example is that a few days ago I went to one of the very small markets where I live, and I noticed one store where they're selling the vegetables and some small things. On top of the vegetable, they have one small card. They say that you can pay this via WeChat. That's why I can say that WeChat changed the lifestyle of some of us doing the small business.
所以希望通过我们提供像 QQ、WeChat 这样的沟通工具。就腾讯还将会继续为中国互联网行业去开放更广阔的一些应用的场景。
So through these WeChat and these QQs, I believe the internet will opens another big door for China and bring us into a very good, bright internet futures.
Thank you, Mr. Ma. Samir.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Samir from HDFC ERGO, India. For us, reinvention is as simply put together. It means you can't do today's business using yesterday's methods. and be business tomorrow. So what it means for us essentially is that we need to continuously be looking at our business plans, strategies, and processes to make sure that we are able to adapt in the fast-changing landscape, which is spurred on by the digital transformation taking place. For our industry, it is imperative that we move to a digital mode because we have multiple channels, multiple modes of communication with the clients, and for us to give a seamless service across all channels is by way of digital transformation is the only way we can achieve that. For us as a company, we are aspiring to be digital mature by 2020. So there are a lot of efforts and energies which are put in by the entire team to make sure that we achieve that goal. By doing so, we'll set benchmarks in the service to the customers, and also hope that we are able to break new markets. So this is how we feel about the digital transformation that is impending on us, and it's going to be the future from.
Thank you. What about from Tata AIA Life perspective?
Hi, good morning to all. I am Pradeep Tripathi, Managing IT Infrastructure for Tata AIA Life Insurance Company. And we have started our operation in 2001 and having 400 branches across India. And today, we talk about digital. Yes, the digital is the way we can transform our business and we can create the value and have the customer service up to the mark, and we can create a benchmark and improve those customer satisfactions. So here, yes, we have initiated a couple of initiatives of digital transformation space, and that is to empowering our agents across India, to empower them, ensure them that they are technology handy and they are expert on the technology so that they can leverage the digitization whatever the organizations are offering to them. And second point, yes, making the mobility part, yes, we can secure the mobility. Then third is the social media, leveraging those digital solutions suitable for the business. We can touch to our customer and make them happy and satisfied. At the end of the day, yes, the customer is always to be satisfied. That's the objective taking into line. We have to transform our digital journey towards, and by 2020 we are targeted at least covering all the digitization, what are the solutions best suitable for our making a smart business and creating a business value for that.
Thank you. So maybe, Pradita, if you can just go into a little bit more detail. When you talk about between now and 2020, this innovation and reinvention journey, maybe just take kind of one initiative and kind of elaborate on, where are you on this journey? You talk about basically enabling your agents from a digital standpoint. Maybe we can take that as an example. Talk about this journey, where you are and how you want to move forward.
Yeah, of course. See, today, life insurance business is more of to the agent, basically the advisors who be there in the field, and they used to touch to our customers always. So once we empower them with some kind of device, that is, we can say about the tablets, iPads, or mobility device with the secure data access, and so that they can go to the customer, ensure that they will be having all the details in place and instantly, so that the same can be uploaded straight through process and issuing the policies instantly. So this is the way we can touch and making the objective again the customer satisfaction and how fast we can leverage these digitizations and empowering our agents and advisors in the field so that they can leverage those technology and digitization and make them end of the day the customer satisfaction. So that is where we can initiate the mobility platform. We created a mobility platform which can be sustainable and secure. And apart from that, yes, the printing is as well the part of once we have agents or advisor comes to the branch, there is some formality as well as there in the hard copy segments. So we do some formalities on that and complete that end-to-end it's a life cycle of the policy issuance. So that is where the mobility is the key on this part.
Okay, thank you. Samir, you talk about, in your introduction, you talk about digital insurance. Maybe you want to elaborate what does that mean for obviously your customers, your agents, and then just kind of how it kind of connects from a print perspective.
Taking over from Pradeep, general insurance industry is not much different from the life. The only differential factor is how is the sourcing happening. Now, in terms of sourcing, general insurance business is sourced by the dealers. Largely is motor business. 60% is motor business in India. So it is the dealer community which controls that business. The rest of the business is open market, which is with agency, and part of it is with the bank insurance team. We manage one of the largest bank insurance business, with our partner HDFC Bank in India in the general insurance segment. For us, bringing all these channels together seamlessly on the digital platform is the biggest challenge, and this is what we're working on. Last year, we have taken the steps towards achieving this goal by setting up a internal insurance portfolio organizer, which is IPO for customers. By this, we aim to provide all the information which a customer needs for accessing his policy information, right from payment of policy premium to claims and to any other thing, endorsements that they may require to be done on the policy. Now, this has been a huge hit with the customers because they don't have to now call up the call centers, they don't have to visit our office, and they don't have to follow up with anyone to get this information. Now, second part of the challenge which we are targeting now is how to get dealers and the community, which is the third party, which on the system, because this is where the control, howsoever we demand, the control is still resting with the dealers, and that is a challenge for the entire industry. So this is something that we are putting the focus on, how we can improve this situation and get information on board, because at the end of the day, the data which we get is determining our business. Now, in insurance, typically what happens is the first year policy, when it comes to the insurer, the retention of the customer is the most important factor. So historically, it happens that if you are able to retain customers in year 2, then the customer sticks to you. But with the dealer having control of the business, the second year renewal becomes a big challenge for us. So we are trying to plug this as to how we can control this factor to our advantage. Thirdly, the step we have taken this year is we have seamlessly incorporated all our bank assurance channels onto our systems, onto our core insurance platform, which means that every time a business is booked, a policy is issued within a matter of hours. And going with that philosophy, we have also transformed 90% of our policy issuance on the automated mode. So there is no manual intervention at all. Apart from this, data analytics is something that we are focusing on, along with the social media that is driving buying preferences, the research, selection of products across the segment. So these are few of the areas that we are working on, and we aim to make a platform wherein this channels can come on a single core process, and we are able to deal with them seamlessly, and their experience of our services is also equal, whether they go on a website, whether they visit our office, or whether they visit our workshop for claims. Their experience should be seamless, so there should be no lag in services.
Okay, Mr. Ma, it's kind of interesting you talk about the micropayments, even all the way to the vegetable ladies in the market. And I know that your role is Internet of Things, IoT, within Tencent QQ. Can you talk about, an organization which is really about, or a platform about connecting people, to now about connecting things? Maybe you want to just kind of share the vision going forward with regards to IoT and how print is involved in that process.
因为腾讯是在过去的这18年时间里面，其实一直在做跟人与人之间的连接啊。QQ 是在18年前，其实腾讯公司是以 QQ 作为一个起点来开始做，所以呢，一直以来 QQ 是作为中国最大的一个沟通的工具，从而实现人与人之间的一个连接。当然，除了人与人连接以外，就可以沟通以外，其实还做了很多内容，包括 QQ 音乐啊、腾讯视频啊、腾讯新闻啊等等。所以刚才也给大家介绍过了我们 QQ 的用户量和微信的用户量。那如果把两个加起来的话，其实已经超过15亿的这样的用户量。
Okay, as we know, QQ is one of the very important communications in Tencent. Those active users right now has exceeded 1.5 billions. In the past, this QQ is a means of communication, connecting people and connecting people to devices. Besides this, users used to share files, share videos. They also engage in talking and communicating to each other.
那这是第一个阶段。那在接下去这个阶段，其实Tony马化腾在2014年提出来的连接一切，成为互联网的一个连接器。所以呢，我们就要抛开人与人之间的连接，要走到下一步，那就是人跟物的一个连接。所以我们在14年的时候推出的是 QQ 这个平台。所以在这个平台。
So that was the first phase where this QQ we are communicating man to man, people to people. So right now we are venturing into the second phase. The second phase we embark on programs where men can connect to devices.
那这个平台除了这个平台以外，其实腾讯还有其他的一些创新的东西，比如是像那个Tencent 的 OS、TOS，或者说像 VR 等等这样的一些产品，或者说是游戏的内容。
That was the first platform. Besides this platform, we also have other platforms like TOS and also other means of communication and device connecting features.
那么像 QQ 物联这个平台推出来以后呢，因为我主要是负责这个平台，所以我对这个平台会了解更多一点。那我们推出这个平台以后，其实整个业界是非常的受欢迎的，因为通过我们这个平台，可以让某一个做硬件厂家让它的产品快速的连到我们这个平台上，或者连到网上，然后呢，通过我们的能力去给它提供一些服务和内容。
So I in charge of these platforms. After we launched these platforms, we received big welcomes in the market. Personally, I in charge of these. So through this platform, we can connect our devices to other products and integrate those products into our platforms.
那我们的核心能力就在于我们能提供一个消息的通道，可以让硬件跟互联网进行一个连接，同时我们也可以提供很多内容和服务，以及还可以提供我们原来人与人连接所产生的一些关系链。
So we want to provide an avenue for the hardware to connect together with the internet. Besides this, we also want to have other features that are able to connect men's devices and devices to men's as a means of communications.
那目前有95%以上的硬件是可以接到我们这个平台上面来的，而且目前申请接入我们这个平台的厂家的数量已经超过了4500家，包括惠普来。
Right now, about 95% of other products can connect to our platforms, and we have long queues of other contractors, other vendors want to apply to join into our platforms.
所以未来就是我们还是希望通过我们的这个连接的通道，以及我们提供的内容服务，以及我们的那些核心能力，使人和硬件产生连接，但最终实现的是硬件和硬件产生一些连接。
So in the future, we want to make the hardware able to connect to hardware. Right now, we are basically connect men to the hardware. So we want to provide avenues, provide pipelines for these communications to be able to materialize.
这是我们的目标。
So can you just kind of give us some idea of this connection between people and print? Because I'm sure a lot of people are trying to figure out what that means. So maybe you want to just add some color to what that means and what they can expect.
好，其实，在我们平台上面连了很多的硬件，那人跟硬件之间怎么去产生一种联系？在我们的理念当中。
In fact, in our platform, we have so many different type of hardware. So what we want us to do here is how the landscape can communicate to the hardware.
在我们的理念当中，我们可以认为任何一个设备它都可以成为一个 QQ， 然后呢，这个设备又可以变成你的好友。
So in our belief, we believe every equipment and every device they can be a QQs, and this device after they become QQ, they can become our partner or our friends.
既然是好友，那人与人之间是可以沟通交流的，所以呢，人和硬件之间也可以沟通交流。比如说，我可以通过 QQ 或者通过 WeChat 可以去看我远端的摄像头，我可以去控制它。我也可以接收摄像头的一些报警，比如说家里有人入侵了。 我的 QQ 就可以收到一个消息，就好像是某一个人发了一个消息给你。
So if this hardware can become our friends, definitely it can communicate with us. It's just like to when we are friends with one person, we can communicate with that person easily. Like one example is we can receive the material, receive the information from the marketplace, or receive information from our family circles or our relative circles.
对，比如说你跟打印机其实也是一种好友关系嘛。 我可以在一个公司里边，可以把这个打印机分享给公司里面所有的人。然后呢，我通过手机，通过移动端任何一个设备收到一个文件以后，我随时随地可以把一个文档扔到这个打印机上面，然后让它执行任务，打印出来。
So in terms of printing, between these companies, I can easily print my material or send my material and print it and share with all my colleagues inside these companies.
所以在我的手机里边，其实还有很多好玩的硬件。 今天没有时间一一来给大家去介绍。
So inside my cell phone, I have so many others good hardware, but today I do not have time to share with all of you.
This is the first time in my life that somebody actually say printer can be your best friend. That's from Tencent QQ. HP, you better remember that you can quote that. Okay, so on that note, let me go back to Pradita from Tata, because I know in your environment you talk a lot about, in our private conversation, you talk about manageability across the different branches, location, insurance agents, and so on and so forth, or agents in general, so forth. So if you think about, a platform like this, whereby printers can become your best friend, maybe you can talk about it from a Tata Life perspective. What does it mean and how does it work in your organization?
So printer is basically a basic infrastructure requirement at each and every branches. So printer, how to manage it effectively and how we can secure and how the availability should be whenever required for the business. So what we have done in Tata is, yes, all across branches we have the MFDs, and where it should be secure, and we can given the individual user the PIN numbers so that people can access and we can track them as well. So we can secure it, and availability, the management, yes, managed print services, where we can have that consumable supplies flow. It is there. Before come to know that yes, this is in that. So there are supply chain kind of management is well managed in MPS, managed print services, and yes, availability always tracked centrally. So that can be predictable. So this managed print services is basically the predictability is always there. So this is the most important thing, and that is what is required by business at the each and individual branches wherever. So geographical, some part is the northeast, and east, west, north, south, all those places, and remote places, especially. So that is where, and we again, the advisors and agents used to be very friendly, and is a friend of the printer, by the way, so at last, yes, I've taken that mouse point, yes. If the printer doesn't work end of the day, yes, it might be the smaller things, but it impacts high. So impact is high. So this is what I can say.
Thank you. So Samir, you talk about automation, and I remember that in your organization, automation and innovation are two core digital themes that's going to take you forward. So maybe you want to talk about, from an automation and kind of economic standpoint, the role of print in your environment and what you're doing today and how is that going to evolve going forward?
Yes, my friends rightly said, printer is more of a friend. And we fully agree to that fact. Our entire industry on month ends, especially when the business is booked, printer is their biggest friend. And if that friend fails them, then all his breaks loose for the facilities team because you're not able to book business. Now we fully understand this fact. As much as we go for transformation from a physical to a digital document, regulators still says that you need to have a printed copy with you whenever you are driving the vehicle, because we are selling largely motor policies. So apart from this fact that we need to print, how does it impact us? Yes, over the past 1 year we have utilized managed print services, and I'm very happy to say that it has brought us tremendous efficiencies, both in terms of cost and also in terms of the print quality, the uptime level, the service factor which Pradipta spoke about. Because we operate in cities which are difficult to reach. Insurance in India is, in say tier 1, 2 cities is more or less stagnated. So all the companies are focusing on tier 3 and tier 4 cities, which makes, each company has to go to the interiors to source business. Now with this happening on the business side, all the support services also have to be aligned to help deliver that objective. Now with this in place, we have achieved benefits from HP, which has been recognized by our organization. We see them helping us going to the next level by making providing us data outputs as to how we can use the data from the solution and how we can control and further optimize the printing. Now one is whether printing is a birthright which is to be given to all employees. We feel to a limited extent yes, because this is one of the basic factors that an individual needs when he starts to perform. But how and what he needs is something that can be regulated by print managed solution. So with the new set of devices that we have seen today, we are sure that this same will be available in India for us to use in the future, and we can leverage on this and the software technology that comes along with it to further bring optimization of the business.
China and India got to be HP's two biggest markets, right? Because you have best friend, quote unquote, from Tencent, and then birthright from Samia. Okay, so let's shift gear a little bit to talk about, because obviously this event is about reinvention, and HP Inc. is very focused on innovation, and we heard a lot through the videos and the session earlier. I want to kind of understand from the three of you in terms of kind of going forward, how do you see from a co-innovation perspective with HP? I don't know if there are projects that you are currently in discussion that you can share with us, or just understanding your company's vision and strategy. Where do you see that co-innovation shaping up moving forward? So maybe let's kick off with Mr. Ma.
刚才其实已经讲到了这个，刚才已经讲到这个 QQ 物联做的一些事，对吧？这腾讯在做。那下一步就是其实因为腾讯已经有很多人和内容和服务，那就最关键就是怎么样把这些内容和服务跟硬件去结合起来，让它去提供，就为人们去提供更多的一些就通过硬件去给人家提供更多的内容和服务。
Just now we talk about the Internet of Things in Tencent, but right now we want to emphasize on this. We have a lot of brands, devices, content and services. How we want to utilize this and leverage this content, services and devices together with the hardware.
OK， 那我想就是说讲这个跟打印机相关的更多的一些事。 因为前面讲了人和物的连接，那打印机自然它本来就是个硬件，所以呢，我们怎么去跟它连接？刚才我已经讲过了，就是说怎么去做到这个体验。那么，为什么会说我们跟这个打印机会有比较多的结合呢？其实从我们自身的业务，我们可以看到，每一天通过 QQ 或者通过 WeChat 或者通过QQ Mail 的邮箱去传输文件、共享文件的这个人和文件数是非常多。
So every day we see through this QQ or through WeChat or through the mails, we transfer huge volumes of documents. So I want to emphasize, this is the reason I want to emphasize and talk about the printers.
有个数据可以跟大家分享，就是说每一天我们通过刚才讲的这些工具去传输文件的量，超过了一天，超过了。
So every day the volume that we transfer this material, these documents exceeds 1 billion.
所以这么多的文件在人与人之间进行传输，必然会有很大一部分是需要打印出来的。
So in terms of so many materials, so many documents that we transfer amongst man to man, there's a reason we want to print out all these materials.
所以在应该有1年半之前了吧，我们跟惠普接触说，是不是可以让惠普的打印机跟 QQ 或者跟 WeChat 能有个很好的结合，去为用户提供很好的打印的体验。
So 1 year or 1.5 years ago, we get in touch with HP. So we want to discuss with HP how their printers can integrate and combine with our QQs, with our companies to make one integrated printers. It will be a perfect combination of both.
所以其实我们可以去想象，就是说，包括我本人也经常会，有时候会碰到这样一种情况，就是当我需要打印的时候，但是你身边没有打印机，因为你不在公司里边，你可能也不在家里边，那你怎么去打印某一个文档？其实这种情况经常会碰到。
Sometimes I encounter this kind of problems with myself. I want to print some document or materials, but I'm not in the office or I'm not at home, so I cannot find a printer to print out those materials. These are problems that we usually encounter.
所以我们在想，我们能不能做到跟惠普结合惠普的打印机，再结合 QQ 那么大的用户群体，是不是可以做到随时随地去打印呢？
So we want to work together with HP, whether we can combine their printer together with our QQs, make us and allow us to print our material anytime and anywhere.
而且在打印的时候，我不需要带其他设备，我只需要带上手机就 OK 了。我带着手机，我可以去有打印机的地方，任何的打印机，比如说在便利店里面打印机，或者说其他你们接触到的打印机，我带着手机就可以把它们打印出来。
So I need not to bring other equipment or printer together with me. What I need to bring is only my cell phone. Then with my cell phone, I go and find a place with the printers or superstore with the printers. Then I can easily through my cell phone to print out the materials that I want.
如果能实现这一点，比如说能 anytime anywhere 的去打印某一个文档，这种体验，这种效率势必会有很大的提高。
So if we can materialize and actualize this printing anytime, anywhere, I believe this can bring a high efficiency into our daily life.
所以通过这个 case， 其实我们可以去想象，就是腾讯在连接仪器上面所做的一些愿景就在这儿。我们希望通过一个打印机跟 QQ 的结合，这么一个简单的 case 去展望未来，就是我们生活当中怎么样让我们的硬件能跟我们去提升我们生活的一些品质，或者说提升我们的效率。 也可以降低一些社会的一些资源，
So this will be
节约社会资源。
This will be our visions. We want to make the QQs work together with HPs in terms of these printers and actualize the printers, and we can print anytime, anywhere in our daily life. At the same time, we can bring efficiencies and save energies for our daily livings.
Okay, very good. It's interesting. This is really pay as you use, pay as you go model. So for Tata and HDFC, you're looking into kind of co-innovating with HP in your environment and what that is or that may be down the road.
We have the plan for setting up the document management system and content management system. How securely we can have the document, the life cycle of the documents managed, and of course that there's high availability and we have the APS stuff there in the part of it. So this is the overall perspective of the engagement, and we can reinvent on those partners with HP. And yes, the document management part again is the key factor for the business, as well as like the life cycle and secure those documents is very much important for us. So this is what we can do for in our strategy plan.
So life cycle management of your document and your content. Okay. What about Samir?
For us, as we step into this year and the next few years, we will be rolling out more virtual offices, which means that all the devices that we are dealing with from a physical brick and mortar offices will exist in a virtual space, which means that there will be no office to keep a device, which is where we will need the expertise of HP to give us a solution how we can provide the services, have better and content control as we go about doing it. So this is our biggest challenge that we are facing, because we are going on the virtual office mode from this year.
Okay, so that's interesting from a virtual. I can see that connection with Tencent QQ, right? Taking it to India for that environment. So okay, so let me just wrap this up because we're running out of time now. Let me just wrap it up by just getting each one of you to just quickly, in 30 seconds, where do you envision kind of your next steps? And in that process, what is the feedback that you would like to give HP to help you to accelerate your digital transformation journey? Shall we start with Tata?
Yeah. In fact, again, the digitization part of it, the key factor, how we can reach to the customer and make them satisfaction. Again, that is the key objective of our team and the strategy part of it. So here at HP, yes, we are partnering with having the NPS management print services and secure management print services, what we talk. And second, document management systems in place and content management part of it. And that overall life cycle of those, how we can build the sustainable business and ecosystem around to support the business and transforming the business. That is what we're looking for.
Okay, so scaling it as quickly as possible. Samir?
At HCC Ergo, it again boils down to the fact that how HP can help us with the technology and with the software that we can, again, as Pradeep rightly said, for us data and content is very important and very critical, because data loss can actually mean loss of business for us. So that is where we stand. And with virtual offices coming into play, we are looking forward to solutions how we can make this more on the same platform, which is probably a mobility platform, is what we are HP can do.
So that blended virtual and kind of physical environment coming together.
That's right.
Okay, good. And Mr. Mark?
看未来的话，就肯定辉哥还是会一如既往的去执行我们这个连接的策略，就围绕我们那些核心的通讯能力和社交平台，以及和像惠普这样的在垂直领域里面的一些领先企业去合作，培育一个我们之前提出的互联网加的一个生态的一个系统啊。所以把我们自身和合作伙伴的一些产品和用去带给他们，持续的为他们提供一些优质的体验。这意味着就我们将会把打印机在内的所有的像这种实体服务去互联网化，所以这不是说我们不需要再打印了，而是说我们要利用互联网去更轻松、去更容易的去打印。这是腾讯要连接一些一个所在，所以这只是我们互联网创新小小的一步，但是未来还有更多可能在里面。
So basically, what we want to embark into a future program is still go back to the connecting people and devices. So we want to work together with the HP in terms of this printer development. So we want to make the printing activities easier and faster and make it convenient for everybody. So for the future, I hope that we can work together with the HP in terms of the earlier projects where we develop our products. And we look forward in the future to develop and work together with HP on the others more advanced and integrated products that are able to combine and integrate it into our QQ users.
So with that, I want to thank the three panelists for your excellent sharing. Thank you very much for your time and being here in the car with us. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. and our panel guests for the discussion on customer experience. May I now please invite back on stage Mr. Enrique Lores to present present tokens of appreciation to our panel guests and Ms. Mr. Patro, Mr. Barbe, Mr. Mao, and finally to our moderator, Ms. Another round of applause to our panel guests and Ms. Thank you very much. We will now have a short coffee break. Please do be back here in the ballroom by 11:10.